In this video, we at iDoc Europe show you how to replace the SIM card reader of your iPhone XR yourself. The repair is a bit more difficult because the display is glued on and you have to take care of the somewhat fragile flex cables. You should plan at least 30 to 60 minutes. If you're not yet familiar with iPhone repairs, you'd better plan a little more time for it. For the repair, we recommend the following tools. Tools and spare parts are available from iDoc at www.idoc.eu. All links can be found in the video description. And now we wish you a lot of fun. Before the repair, turn off your iPhone to avoid short circuits. Press and hold the standby button and one of the volume buttons, and then confirm to switch off the phone. To remove the display, first remove the two Pentalobe screws to the left and right of the lightning connector. Apple uses special Pentalobe screws here. The links to all necessary tools can be found in the video description. The display is strongly glued, so you should heat the glue to remove the display. Use a heat gun or a hairdryer. To remove the display, you will also need a suction cup and a hard plastic plectrum. An iFlex is also handy for getting into the narrow gap between the display and the frame. Note, however, that the iPhone is no longer waterproof after a repair. Heat the edges of the display to about 60 degrees Celsius. Take care not to overheat the device. As a rule of thumb, always heat the device only so far that you can still touch the heated area with your hand. Heating softens the glue a little bit and lets you remove the display. Now grab your suction cup and stick it to the bottom of the display. Next, pull on the suction cup and insert a plectrum into the space between display and frame. If you have been able to push the plectrum in a little bit, move the plectrum once around the frame and lever the display slightly upwards. If you can't get a plectrum into the gap between the display and the frame, you can use a thinner tool like the iFlex. But be careful not to scratch the frame nor go too far into the device with the tool. Also, when working with the plectrum, be careful not to insert it too far into the device. Be especially careful on the right side, where the display connection cables are located. Heat the edge repeatedly and gradually loosen the display adhesive. Once the glue is loosened all around, you can fold open the display. Don't unfold the display too much, or the cables might get strained and suffer damage. Put a stable object next to the iPhone to support the display and make sure your device doesn't slip away. Now first disconnect the battery to make the iPhone completely disconnected from the power source. Loosen the screws on the cover plate above the battery contact. Apple uses again special screws, which have a Y-shaped profile. Use a suitable Y-type screwdriver to avoid damaging the heads. Remove the metal plate and put all parts together on a square of your magnetic mat. Now carefully lever off the battery contact with a plastic spudger and bend it a little to the side. The display unit is connected with 3 connectors. First, remove the cover plate over the display connectors. Loosen the 2 screws, remove the plate and then carefully separate the connectors with a spudger. Hold the display firmly and take care not to stretch the thin flex cables. The third cable is slightly longer, so you can now place the display flat next to the device. Loosen the screws of the next cover. Be careful not to swap the screws. The easiest way to do this is with an iDoc magnetic pad, on which you can arrange the screws and the cover plate as they are placed in the device. Take the plate to the side and loosen the connector with the spudger. Now everything is disconnected and you can set the display unit aside. On the iPhone XR, the SIM card reader is a separate component for the first time on an iPhone and can be replaced individually. First, remove the SIM card holder from the device. Carefully separate the contact with a spudger. Then loosen the screws that hold the card reader in place. For the standoff screws, there are special screwdrivers with a centering pin in the middle. You can also use a narrow slotted screwdriver. A small metal clip is attached with a screw. Grab it with tweezers and remove the screw. Remember the alignment so that you can insert the clip correctly again later. Now you can remove the SIM card reader. Place your new SIM card reader back in its position and screw it on. Make sure to insert the small metal clip the right way round. Then connect the contact of the card reader. Insert the SIM card holder. You shouldn't feel any strong resistance, otherwise the card reader is not yet positioned correctly. To protect the iPhone against dust and splash water, it is recommended to use a new adhesive frame. In this video you can see the iPhone 8, but the procedure is the same for the iPhone XR. First, remove all glue residue, so the new glue will hold. But do remember that the iPhone will no longer be 100% waterproof. Before attaching the frame sticker, make sure it's aligned right. The corners and the holes for the camera show you which way is up or down. Now remove the first backing film. First, put the frame smoothly on one side of the device and press it on slightly. Then press on the sticker all around. Make sure that the sticker stays inside of the frame all around. Grab a spudger to make the frame sticker hold properly. Now you can remove the second big carrier film. You can remove the last small part of film now or after connecting and testing the display. Leaving the film on prevents the display from sticking too early. Place the display unit next to your device. Hold the earpiece cable in your hand and gently plug in the connector. Make sure you put it on properly before pressing it down firmly. Do not slide the connector over the socket on the logic board to avoid damaging the individual pins. Then reattach the cover and screw it in place. To plug in the other connectors, lean the display against a stable object. In this way you avoid stretching the fragile flex cables too far. Connect the two connectors and screw the cover plate back in place. Finally, you can connect the battery contact. Position it over its place on the logic board and press it firmly. Put the metal bracket on and screw it down. Now carefully fold and close the display. Make sure the display is sitting right before you press it on. Gradually press down the display so it's sitting on the frame right. Now you can fasten the Pentalobe screws at the lower end of the iPhone. Your iPhone is fixed now, and we hope it was fun for you. If you liked the video, why don't you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel? High-quality tools, spare parts and accessories are available in our store. See you next time.